My supper last night cost 60 cents, and I washed one pot after. 7 years ago, I started cooking for one after 41 years of cooking for two and 35 years of cooking for 400. The secret is a number nobody says out loud. One pot. Not one recipe, one pot. Number 9 is the $10 chicken I promised you, and I brought the receipt. Number 7 has a name most of you have not heard since your grandmother died. And number 1 is the pot I have made every Friday since 1979, never once for more than $2. I am Mrs. Doris, 35 years behind a school lunch line in Scioto County, Ohio, and these days one chair at my table. If you cook for one and still pay family prices, this list is yours. Hit subscribe, grab a tray. We are counting down from 18. Number 18, milk toast. Stale bread toasted dark. Hot milk, a pat of butter, a pinch of salt, a pinch of sugar. Pour the milk over the toast. That was it. Now listen here. Toast the bread harder than you think, nearly burnt at the edges. Soft toast turns to mush the second the milk hits it. Hard toast drinks the milk and holds. A nickel a bowl in 1953, maybe a quarter now. Supper in 4 minutes, one small pan to scrub, and you can eat it in the chair with your feet up. Mothers made it for sick children. Old men made it for themselves at 9 at night. There is no shame in a soft supper. Some nights, soft is the point. And let me say this once before we go one pot further. The title on this video says Poor Man Meals because that is what people type in the search box. That word never made it past my kitchen door. In my kitchen, it was called supper. It still is. Number 17 is 2 cans and a fistful of macaroni, and half of Kentucky was raised on it. Number 17, macaroni and tomatoes. Elbow macaroni, 2 cans of tomatoes, a spoon of butter or bacon grease, salt, plenty of pepper. That was the whole list. Cook the macaroni right in the tomatoes with a splash of water, never separately. The starch stays in the pot and makes its own sauce. Where people go wrong is draining. That is supper down the sink. A box of macaroni and 2 cans ran about $1.10 in 1983 and fed 4. Today, the whole pot is about $2.50. One person eats twice, and it reheats better the second night. My mother Irene called this red supper. 5 children, 1 pot, nobody left the table early. Honest is better than fancy. Number 16 stretches 2 eggs into a whole plate, and it saved more Saturdays than payday did. Number 16, egg gravy over rice. 2 eggs, 2 tablespoons bacon grease or butter, 2 tablespoons flour, 2 cups milk, salt, pepper, poured over leftover rice or yesterday's bread. That was it. Make the white sauce first, then the move. Trickle the beaten eggs off the side of a spoon into the hot gravy, stirring the hot while, and they set into soft golden threads. Dump them in all at once and you get one sad lump, about a quarter a plate in 1983, about 60 cents now, even with eggs the way they are. 2 eggs this way feeds 2 people or 1 person twice. Soft, warm, 10 minutes, 1 pan, and the rice was already cooked on Tuesday. Number 15 is 3 ingredients, and steel towns from Youngstown to Pittsburgh went to church on it. Number 15, cabbage and noodles, haluski. A head of cabbage, a half stick of butter or bacon grease, a bag of egg noodles, salt, more pepper than you think. That was the whole shopping list. The trick? Cook the cabbage long and low, 30 minutes in the fat, until the edges go golden brown. Most people quit at 10 minutes, pale and soft, and that is why they think they do not like cabbage. Brown cabbage is sweet. Then the cooked noodles go in the same pot. Cabbage was 19 cents a pound in 1983. The pot fed 6 for under $1. Today, about 70 cents a plate, and half a head is 4 suppers for 1 chair. Polish and Slovak grandmothers made this every Friday in Lent. Nobody called it a recipe. They called it Friday. Number 14 came out of a can twice, and nobody at my table ever complained once. Number 14. Beanie Weenies, the honest kind. A can of Van Camp's pork and beans, half a pound of hot dogs, a spoon of mustard, a spoon of brown sugar or molasses, a splash of vinegar. 1 pot. That was it. Brown the hot dog coins first in the dry pot until the edges curl. Browned coins taste like a cookout. Pale coins taste like the lunch you forgot to eat. Then everything else, 10 minutes on low. About $1.10 for the pot in 1983, 4 servings. Today, about 3.5. The name brand can is 2 1/4, feeds 1, and tastes like the can. We served a big pan version on field trip days because it held on the steam table 2 hours without breaking. It will hold on your stove, too, if supper has to wait for the news. Number 13 simmers all afternoon and asks nothing of you but a stir when the commercials come on. Number 13. Split pea soup with whatever the ham left behind. A pound of split peas, 1 onion, a carrot, the ham bone or a few slices of chopped bologna, water, pepper. That was it. No soaking. Split peas do not need it. That is the mercy of them. Simmer low, 2 hours, and the peas melt into their own gravy. Boil them hard and they scorch on the bottom. Low and slow, stir from the bottom, and the pot will wait on you all afternoon. Split peas were 45 cents a pound in 1983. The pot fed 6 for $1. Today, about $3 for 8 bowls, and it freezes in jars. A month of Thursdays from 1 afternoon. Old men in diners ordered this by knocking on the counter. It was that regular. It should be again. Number 12 is 1 ingredient, 2 meals, and 3 cents a serving. You heard me, 3. Number 12. Cornmeal mush tonight, fried mush tomorrow. 1 cup cornmeal, 4 cups water, a teaspoon of salt. That is the entire recipe. Whisk the cornmeal into cold water first, then bring it to a boil, stirring. That is the whole trick against lumps. 20 minutes low, stirring from the bottom. Supper is a bowl of it with milk and sugar. Pour the rest into a loaf pan, chill overnight, slice, and fry until both sides crackle. Breakfast, done last night. Cornmeal was 22 cents a pound in 1983, 3 cents a serving. Call it 12 cents now. A box of cereal is $5, and it is corn too. I am not going to tell you mush tastes like steak. It tastes like 3 cents. But it holds you till noon, and 1 pot made 2 meals. That is the whole game. Number 11 was in every church basement casserole line in America, and the 1-pot version is better. Number 11. Tuna noodle, the stovetop way. Egg noodles, a can of Star-Kissed, butter, flour, milk, a handful of peas, black pepper. No oven, no casserole dish, no canned soup. That was it. Make the white sauce right in the pot. Then the noodles, then the tuna, fold it in last so it stays in pieces instead of dissolving into paste. The canned cream of mushroom people reach for is the same flour and milk you just stirred at 4 times the price. You have been buying your own gravy back. A can of tuna was 59 cents in 1983. The pot fed 4 for under $2. Today about $4, $1 a plate for real fish. 20 minutes, 1 pot, and the leftovers are tomorrow's lunch. My Gene ate it cold out of the bowl standing at the refrigerator, and he was not wrong. Number 10 is sweet corn and potatoes holding hands, and it fed the river towns every August. Number 10, corn chowder. 2 cans of corn or 6 ears in season, 2 potatoes, 1 onion, 2 cups milk, butter, salt, pepper. A slice of bacon first if you have one. That was the whole list. Same trick I taught you last video on the potato soup, and it works twice as hard here. The potato water stays in the pot because the potato water is the thickener. Corn next, milk at the end, off the boil. Mash a few potato pieces against the pot wall and stir. Thick chowder, no flour, no cream. About $1 a pot in 1983, maybe $3 now for 6 bowls. Soft, sweet, filling, there is no knife work past the potatoes, and it will not punish you for sitting down. August in my kitchen meant corn trucks at the dock and chowder in the kettle. The children thought it was a treat. It was corn and potatoes. That is the whole magic. We are halfway, and everything so far came from cans and sacks. Now comes the receipt I promised you. Stay with me. Number 9, chicken and rice from the $10 bird. Last video, I promised you 1 $10 chicken and 4 suppers out of it, receipts and all. Here is the receipt, $9.40 at the store on Route 23. I read it out because a promise is a promise, and tonight I am going to beat it. 1 whole chicken, rice, and onion, salt, pepper. Night 1, simmer the bird whole 2 hours and eat the first supper right there, meat, broth, a slice of bread. Night 2, half the picked meat goes back in with a cup and a half of rice, 20 minutes, and the rice drinks the broth. The rice tastes like the whole bird, not like water. Night 3, the rest of the meat and the last of the broth make soup with whatever the crisper is holding. 3 pots, 6 plates. I promised you 4 suppers from 1 bird. Count them on the table. 6. $9.40 across 6 plates, $1.57 each. The deli counter in town wants $8 for 1 supper with no broth and no tomorrow in it. The bird is not 1 supper. The bird is a week. Write that down. Number 8 is a soup made of bread, and my mother did not think it deserved a name. Number 8, bread soup. Stale bread, an onion, a tablespoon of fat, 4 cups of water or broth, salt, pepper, an egg if you have one. That was it. Tear the bread and fry it in the fat with the onion first until brown and crackling. Only then add the water. Toasted bread thickens, raw bread dissolves. 5 minutes of simmer, a hard grate of pepper, an egg stirred through at the end if the carton allows. 8 cents a bowl in 1983, a quarter now. It is the cheapest hot supper in this whole series, and it is better than it has any right to be. Ruby kept the bunny bread heels in a box over the warming table for this. Heels are not scraps. Heels are Thursday. Number 7 is the name you have not heard since your grandmother died. Say it with me. Number 7, rivel soup. Rivels, a cup of flour, 1 egg, a pinch of salt, rubbed between your fingers into crumbs. Drop them into a pot of hot milk or broth with a spoon of butter. Simmer 5 minutes, and they swell into tiny dumplings. That was the whole supper. The trick is dry hands and light fingers. Rub, do not knead. Knead it and you get 1 dumpling the size of your fist. I know because I kneaded my first pot, September of 1979, and served Ruby 1 dumpling the size of a baseball. She ate it without a word, which was worse. The Pennsylvania Dutch carried this pot down the Ohio River, and every county renamed it. Flour and an egg. A dime in 1983, maybe 40 cents now, and it fills you like Sunday dinner. If your grandmother was German or Dutch or from anywhere between Lancaster and Cincinnati, she made this. Tell me in the comments what her county called it. I am collecting names. Number 6 fed the Caribbean, the South, and every tight Tuesday in between. Number 6. Rice and beans, the Saturday pot. Rice, a can or a cup of cooked pinto or kidney beans, an onion, a spoon of bacon grease, salt, pepper, a shake of whatever heat you keep. That was the whole list. Fry the onion in the grease, then the dry rice for 1 minute. Toasted rice is the difference between fluffy and gummy. Then the beans with their liquid and water to cover. Lid on, low, 18 minutes, and do not lift the lid. 60 cents a pot in 1983, about $1.50 now for 4 servings. Beans and rice together make a whole protein. The science came later, but the grandmothers knew first. This pot has fed more of the world for longer than anything on this list. It is not going anywhere, and neither are you. Number 5 is dessert that thinks it is supper, and on the right night, it is both. Number 5, rice pudding, the supper kind. 2 cups cooked rice, 2 cups milk, a 1/4 cup sugar, 1 egg, a pinch of salt, cinnamon, raisins if the jar has any. That was it. Simmer the rice in the milk 15 minutes until it goes creamy. The rice does the work, no cream needed. Then temper the egg. A spoonful of hot rice into the beaten egg, stir, then into the pot. Straight in cold and you get scrambled rice. 12 cents a bowl in 1983 off rice that was already left over. Under 50 cents now. The little store cups are $1.75 and taste like the lid. On a cold night alone, a bowl of warm rice pudding is supper, dessert, and company. 3 jobs, 1 pot. Number 4 is the pot every school kitchen in America made better than any restaurant, and I will die on that hill. Number 4, stovetop macaroni and cheese from the block. Macaroni, butter, flour, milk, and real cheese grated off a block. The sharper, the better. No powder, no box. That was it. Cook the macaroni in as little water as covers it and keep the last half cup. Starch water is glue, the good kind. Make the white sauce in the same pot, then the cheese off the heat. Cheese boiled is cheese broken. Off the heat it goes silk. By 1983, the commodity cheese came in 5-pound blocks, and my macaroni and cheese fed 400 children a week off it. At home, the pot ran $1. Today, about 3.50. The blue box feeds nobody twice. The trays came back scraped clean for 35 years straight. Not one child ever asked me what it cost. Off the heat before the cheese. That is the whole secret, free of charge. Number 3 fed a widow in my church for 1 whole winter, and she came out of that winter healthy. Number 3, lentil stew. A pound of lentils, an onion, 2 carrots, a spoon of bacon grease, water, salt at the end, pepper. A splash of vinegar in the bowl. That was the whole list. No soaking. Lentils are the fastest bean God made. 35 minutes, 1 pot. The move is the vinegar at the end. 1 teaspoon in the bowl wakes the whole pot up. Skip it and lentils taste like a wet sock. Add it and they taste like somebody loved you. Lentils were 59 cents a pound in 1983, and the pot fed 6 for under $1. Today it is about $2.50 for 8 bowls, and the doctor will think you have been holding out on him. Mrs. Alvey from our church lived on this pot the winter of 1985 after her Harold passed, and she stood in my kitchen that spring and said, "The pot kept me company. I have never forgotten it." Number 2 is the luckiest pot in America, and it is 2 ingredients and a promise. Number 2, Hoppin John. Black-eyed peas, rice, an onion, a piece of salt pork or bacon, water, pepper. That was it. In the South, you eat it on New Year's Day for luck, and the luck is real. The pot feeds you for 3 days. Simmer the peas with the pork and onion until tender. Then the rice goes into the same pot to drink the pot liquor. Same rule as the chicken. The rice cooks in flavor, not in water. Salt at the end, or the skins fight you. 90 cents a pot in 1983. About $3 now for 8 servings. Some folks put a dime in the pot for luck. I put mine toward next week's onion. The peas are the coins, and the greens are the bills, the old folks said. Money you can eat. That is my kind of savings account. Before number 1, let me say one thing plain. I know what the quiet does. I have eaten at a table set for 1 since 2019, and I will not pretend a pot of lentils fixes that. It does not. But 35 years on a lunch line taught me this, and 7 years alone confirmed it. The supper you actually make beats the supper you meant to make. Every pot on this list forgives a bad day. It will cook while you sit down. It will wait while you answer the phone. It asks for one good hand and the radio on and not one thing more. A pot on the stove changes the smell of a house, and the smell of a house changes the evening. That is the cheapest medicine I know. Cook the pot. Set your place. One chair is still a table. Number 1, the Friday pot. Vegetable soup from the scrap bag. All week a bag lives in my freezer. Celery ends, carrot peels, onion skins, the last spoon of corn, the chicken bones from number 9. Friday, it all goes in the pot with water, salt, pepper, and a can of tomatoes. Simmer an hour. That was it. That is still it. Ruby taught me this my first September. The kettle eats first. Every trimming from 400 trays went into Friday's stock, and Friday's soup fed the whole school for pennies. I have run the same bag in my own freezer since 1979. The pot costs 50 cents of tomatoes because you already paid for every scrap in it. The store wants $4 for a carton of broth. You have been throwing better broth away every week of your life. We did not waste a thing. Not in that kitchen, not in this one. 47 years of Fridays, and the pot has never once let me down. Homework, and I grade easy. Make 1 pot this week, the rivels, the Hoppin John, or the Friday scrap bag. Then tell me, rivel soup or Hoppin John? And what did your grandmother call her everything pot? And what county? I read every one with my coffee. The winner gets the next video. Subscribe. Next week, 15 forgotten ground beef dinners from the 1970s. 1 pound, 8 plates.